Hey everybody, doing some work late in the loft, late tonight in the loft, and so anybody wants to come in, come on in. I'm working on this piece, doing a little bit of work, stuff going on. I know Mark was over with Mark a few minutes. Danny were over on there. She didn't go in there. Didn't quite get in there. I think Danny was winding up, but I'm just got some objects in the books pick up real quick. So I'm in the sail log right now. So making sure I get everything done. Bring it up here. Place. Just looking for a little bit of companionship at late evening. Getting some stuff done. Ah, just here doing crap. Yeah, yeah. There we go. Telltales, telltales on sales. New things going. How's everybody been? About COVID. Which is why I'm up late tonight trying to catch up with stuff. Anybody's out there? I think I'll sort of, I think I'll just sort of open up the room in case anybody wants to come hang out. I just need to figure out how to do that on the iPad because I usually stream in Office. Yeah, okay. We'll do that. Copy, copy. In case anybody wants to come in here, I'm here. There you go. So anybody wants to join in, feel free. If I don't recognize you, you ain't coming in. If I do, you are more than welcome. Just doing some work, trying to catch up on stuff. Like I said, been stricken with the COVID. I've gotten a little bit behind on stuff. Just catch up. Don't mind. Don't mind working late. ducks in a row from Saturday morning. Just shop, doing stuff. Trying to pay as much attention to the computer screen as I possibly can. Too, but yeah, it's been rough. That, that's some successful times that also really transpositions. Transpositions podcast. It's friend, my world, salad, world sound, it's competitions in the sport, which is the same as the sport, massage and keep trying, keep talking. Well, really care about why. I don't know how much I just got to have some telltale signs. I fear what I'm each of this minutes. Things down here in the left. Stuff. Notice it's it. So I said, Joyce, which is pretty sailing. Very understanding customer again. Stricken with the COVID. Fun. this material. Ouch. Telltale. Yeah. All right. Where did the scissors go? They're there. Yeah, wash the sail earlier. Mop on the floor. Fix some stuff. We've got a couple of canvas things you gotta get ready to go. All good. Sail's in pretty good shape. Someone enjoys. Hey, Samami. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. Looks like Samami fell asleep over the gather. That's kind of funny. It's all right. Happens. I was actually, I'll be honest, I was playing some games over on Dr. Ben's Twitch channel. Taking a little break from the action on the floor. But yeah. So these telltales, these little guys, they're called telltales because they show you what's happening with the wind as it goes over the surface of the sail. Uh, on the trailing edge of the last sail of this airplane, which is usually in the sloop. I think it's called the sail. Uh, it shows how the wind is exiting over what are essentially wings. So the motive force that carries it forward, motive force that's that's uh, applied to the rig is obviously from the wind. And you want to sure that architects want to have some force. It's doing its utmost to provide as much force as possible. So, one clear indication is that these little guys on the back end of the sail are fluttering nicely all the way. Oh gosh, looks like I've got a low battery. Which, as things are, just sort of do one of two things. Find the cable, plug the damn thing in, or say goodnight. At the moment, I'll do a quick search. Close this little gizmo here. I'll go look for an appropriate mechanism for keeping myself going. For as long as it takes to get these goddamn things done. Anybody again wants to come and hang out on Friday night. Some crazy old lady doing nothing. So come alone, crazy. We could talk about anything. Talk about sailing. We could talk about politics. We could talk Jesus. We could talk about Jesus. Talk about any old thing. But we won't be talking about anything unless I get my ass linked up with something that's going to keep this MFing thing going. Thing. Where do I have this thing? Do, 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 do. Not there. Yep, there it is. I have this little here dongle. Plug into the sewing machine. And savage what goes in the sewing machine. Right? Oh, God damn it. There we go. I think this will work, right? No, it won't work. Won't get nowhere close to this fucking thing. Hold on a second. Maybe I gotta go to plan B. Okay. Wow. Supreme Court said plan B was okay, which is good. That's a good thing. So there's the politics, folks. I managed to sneak into politics. Good old me. Know how to do it. I'm gonna keep you entertained as much as I can. Jesus Christ. Whilst I sew, sure everything's shots. These things. I've got a couple of oh, shut up with the low battery bullshit. Close. Yeah, thank you very much. I've got you plugged in now, you silly thing. Anyway, back to aerodynamics. Um, really want to be paying attention to how the aerodynamics is working on the top three quarters of the sail, the lower three quarters of the sail are usually kind of stalled often enough. There ain't much you can do about it. It's nice to see what's going on down low, but it's not as crucial because the way the sail plan is configured, the lower portion of the sail plan is uh, more about uh, the end plate effect of the forward sail, uh, and not so much about how the forward sail is affecting the airfoil off the trailing edge of the aft sail. It's just not as critical with it. So we usually put telltales at the top three battens, which are at the quarter points of the sail. Just sort of do it that way because that's the more important. But which so making this maybe see this is the back edge of the sail that I'm putting these things on. This is a main sail for this boat. I think it's a cabin, but it's a nice boat. It's got a really nice um, uh, attachment system. Things that attach the sail to the mast are really quite smooth and efficacious for putting the thing up and down. These sails aren't new. Uh, New to the boat, sort of. She's not a racing sailor, but very enjoying the water, and she's very, very enthusiastic person. Art that nice lady. Dad, some stuff, but I gotta get it. Not the steps, feeling sorry for herself. Stuck, stuck in the battles, internet. So, kind of old and tired, quite frank. All right, so we got that done. Then look at the other side of the mainsail. Oh, hello. Yeah. Breeze asking me, will I sing Blowing in the Wind? I think that's all. Yeah. It's very staying forward. What did you know that actually song? It says so much. It's not it's not irrelevant today. Let's put it that way. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? Railway scene, what's the white dress? Four leaves see how many times must for the forever band. Answer, answer. How many years must a man for it is washed to the sea? How many times can some people exist before they're allowed to be free. Sorry, look at the sail. How many times did a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? Yes. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? So how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people died? Answer, my friend. Answer is blowing. That's fine. Okay, so mommy wants to come in and talk to me. You got to realize I am going to be moving around in the sail loft but thanks so much. Come on in. It's mommy. Pick from studio, Ben from studio. Add to stage. There we go. Oh, hi, lady.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
I woke up. I fell asleep on Gather and woke up, and everybody was gone.
Yeah, well, just trying to get some. Got this sail and a couple of canvas pieces I need to look at. They came back from the wash, and so I'm trying to get this ready for tomorrow because Nancy will be here trying to pick up her sail. I just want to make sure it's ready for her to go. Boat went in the water sometime this week, so I'm told. And so, yeah, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope I didn't murder Blown in the Wind. I did my best. Mr. Zimmerman be damned. All right, so here we go. We're going to flake this thing up. First, we're going to write down how nice this thing is, which it's not a bad sail. It's in good shape, but it's old.
So do you just use a sail until like I don't know, like it rips, and then you just resew it, or?
Sails are the thing about sails is that they're they last a long time, but they're made out of fabric, and fabric wears out. I mean, everybody who has clothing, I think, is familiar with the fact that clothing doesn't last. You know, that things go bad. And it's cockpit on it. See, this is weird. I don't know what the hell.
I mean, I feel like it gets holes in it that you could just sew like the hole up.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you can keep them going for a while. Uh, but they're meant to be airfoils, and they lose they lose their aerodynamic capacity over time. That's what it's like a piece of clothing that stretches out and doesn't fit anymore.
Oh, true.
And it's not that critical. I mean, you can still wear them without showing your ass. Uh, they're not that critical. They're expensive and they last for a long time until the sun gets at them and they don't work anymore. Up here in Maine, it's a short season, so people don't. Um, they're not exposed to the sun and the elements for as much as they might be in your neck of the woods. But then
Yeah, the
again,
sun's fucking harsh down here.
the sun is really harsh, and ultraviolet light destroys polyester anything. It destroys polyester thread. It's unkind to most things, including human flesh. There are some things that don't care about it. Um, uh, what what is that? It's not aromatic polyamides. It's another chemical compound that doesn't break down. Like Spectra doesn't break down in another form of polyethylene doesn't break down too much in ultraviolet. Carbon fiber doesn't break down in ultraviolet, but carbon fiber has the disadvantage of the fact that it doesn't like bending back and forth. It winds up being. Do I have any carbon fiber sitting around here? I think I do. Yeah, I do. Got some right here. Yeah, I think I do. Oh yeah, got this little piece of cloth that this is a blend of carbon fiber and and uh, Spectra, which is off the top. It's late at night and I can't remember. Anyway,
It
yeah.
looks
So
burlappy.
that's well, it's not really. It's yeah, it's weird shit. Anyway, these things don't break down in UV, but Dacron does. Dacron thread does. A polyester thread breaks down. Polyester breaks down in ultraviolet light. Um, but mostly the biggest problem with sails is that they stretch and they stretch out of shape and the boat doesn't perform as well. And if you don't really care about the boat's performance, if the thing goes, if it's running, it's fine. And for cruising sailors, that's absolutely perfect because they just want to go from place to place and make sure everything's working.
So it's a little bit like porn. If your boat gets too stretched out, it's over.
Only if you're a crazy racing sailor. If you're a racing sailor, you want to be sure that the sails are airfoils all the time, and so you wind up spending. A J24 sailor will buy a Genoa every year, and so they'll spend $2,000 a year on a fucking sail, which is cuckoo. But anyway, let me show you the whole. This is a main sail. and show the folks the whole thing. Look, I've got 16% of power, so I think I can probably get it. I think I can, like, there. That's that's the mainsail for this boat. This boat's like a 30-foot boat, and that's maybe 33 feet of hoist. Um, so yeah, just a just another goddamn boat, another goddamn sail, another goddamn boat. And now I think we flake her up if I can find the.
This is why Steph has to be the skipper and I'm Gilligan, because I don't know shit.
Oh yeah, well, everybody's a Gilligan at some point in time, right? This is also why, you know, why there's all this mysterious stuff. It's why guys don't believe that women can comprehend any of these things, which is really fucking annoying and stupid.
I understand, like dry ropes with climbing, and like you need a new rope every few months because
Yep, yep.
it'll fucking wear out, turn to shit. You don't want it to break.
My experience, though, from both sides of that of the gender spectrum, anyway, is that people would believe me when I spoke to them about boats and aerodynamics and stuff like that. They believe me a lot more if I was speaking like this. If I were speaking more like this, they'd believe me a good deal more.
Yeah, yeah. You learn how to like drop your tone, and you have to address certain people like a certain type of way
Yeah,
to
big
be
pain
taken
in the ass.
seriously.
People are assholes, barking orders at people. It's like, come on now. Do you really have to be that way? Don't think so.
Sometimes it just makes me want to be extra, whatever it is that people don't take seriously. I don't know why.
But I'm just fucking really kind of tired of the whole thing. I'm tired of the games. Tired of the, tired of the foolishness. I'm just out and out tired. I'm tired. Tired of playing the game. And it's a friggin' shame.
Yeah, that's why I come off as kind of a little abrasive with people sometimes, I feel like. I'm just
Oh,
over it.
you and me both, hon. I mean, I got all that, I got a lot of that stuff. I've seen with dozens of men again and again. They ask for the moon. They're always going and coming and coming and going and always too soon. Anyway, yeah, I'm tired. Tell me, cowboy, are you in show business? No, ma'am. Then get your feet off the stage.
You know what's weird? Perp said in chat, I'm working on speaking in a higher register. I can do it, but I haven't been able to make it a habit yet. I feel
Purple, you
like
don't need to. You're it's not the thing that people misunderstand is it's not so much register as it is inflection. I don't know.
you really don't need to. Even though I feel like sometimes I like can't
I
talk about it because I'm a cis woman, but like I've had like issues with my voice like my entire life and like not it being too I don't know, a certain type of way. And like I had when I started dancing, when I started stripping rather, because I've danced my entire
uh-huh.
life. I've done ballet my entire life, but like dancing
Right,
like in the club,
right,
uh
right, right.
that was like a really like something that really like fucked with me a lot when I first started dancing was like my voice and thinking like I don't sound feminine enough and I don't sound cute enough and like
Yeah, but
I
you
did
could. You know how to do it. I know you know how to do
well
it.
I did learn how to do it and like I you
Yeah,
know like there was another girl at work that like she was like one of the top girls that made the most money and like her I basically just paid attention to how she carried herself and how she spoke and like all that and like just emulated that but over time because I've been a dancer for like 15, 16 years now like it's that is unless you're trying to attract a certain type of person that is into a more childish
yeah,
kind of voice
yeah,
that most guys do not they don't like that high
yeah.
little baby voice basically like
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and like
But and
watching
you
those Marilyn Monroe movies the other day
yeah.
reminded me of that. And like her voice is not higher. If anything, her voice
No,
is fairly low. Like
it is. It is. And if anybody is listening, I dare you put a put an oscilloscope on our two voices, and you'll find out that we're speaking in the same kind of register or very close. It's like it's not the frequency, it's the intonation, and it's the way it's done, and it's the way you play, and it's the language you use too. The language is coded. The language is super coded. The way you talk about people or the way you talk generally is coded. Uh, and it's just it's a question of approach. It's very curious the way gender norms are are coaxed into us. I think, but I wouldn't read Purple's voice, which I know quite well. I wouldn't read her voice as masculine, but that's me. I mean, some people read my voice as feminine, some people read my voice as masculine, and it very frequently depends on what I'm doing and what I'm talking about at any given point in time. It's
and your
crazy.
elocution, like how
Yeah,
you're saying it too. Like
yeah.
yeah.
It's just, but that's gender performance, and it's all really weird. It takes me, seeing as I was, seeing as I learned, um, and just sort of out of self defense as a purported cis guy pretending to be one, it takes me a while to actually like when I went into the deep chest voice with projection, it took me a few seconds. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Took me a few. It took me about a half a minute to figure out. Okay, if you're gonna do it, you need to think about how to do it. It's 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 strange. God damn it! Where's my fucking scissors? Shit. See, that's very unfeminine right there. This is really weird. I don't know. Damn it.
I feel like that's what I
Ah,
feel
there
about
they are.
Perp's voice. I feel like Perp's voice was always at the most masculine was just androgynous. Perp's voice always sounded feminine to me.
Yeah,
Perp has very big auntie energy.
truth, 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 truth.
Bree said people always ask if my husband was home.
All right, so we got this mainsail down. Cool. Now we got to just take a look at a couple of canvas pieces, and I really appreciate your coming in and hanging out with me, because I hear that lonesome whippoorwill.
Yeah, I came outside to smoke a cigarette, so I'm trying to be a little bit more quiet right now. Trying not to piss off my neighbors.
Too blue to fly. That means he's lost the will to live. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Yeah, well, where the fuck? God damn it.
No, Butters! No, you can't go outside. Little Butterbean. Yeah, watching the 7 Year Itch and Some Like It Hot a couple weeks ago. Like I
Yep.
haven't been to work in a while, and like I feel like now when I go back, I'm gonna have to not like reinvent myself, but like I don't feel like that cutesy voice is. It's not sexy. It's not sexy. Like I don't necessarily think that my voice is sexy because I think it's kind of awkward, but I can definitely force that kind of a voice in, at work when necessary. And like now I feel like it makes more sense at my age to have a more that more like a deeper like kind of sexy voice versus
Yeah.
a cutesy voice.
Ah,
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why I sound shy on here. I sound very different. Like I guess maybe if I had like a decent like microphone, I would sound more like I do in person. But it's so
you
weird because in
know,
person my voice is so loud and deep and like I'm so fucking loud in person. And like when I hear my voice played back like on YouTube, I don't sound anywhere near as like I don't know like.
nobody, nobody's voice sounds like they think it does because we all hear our voice through our bones as well as our ears. And when the bones aren't in play, it sounds quite different. All right, so that's that. And I don't know what this attaches to. The zipper seem intact.
Oh, my voice can be pretty sarcastic if I want it to be.
Oh, really? I hadn't noticed.
Like definitely like I definitely have like a weird catty voice that comes out sometimes when talking with like Theus or like Jim Bob's. It
Jim
came out when
Bob.
I was talking with Jim Bob when I
Yeah,
called up on his channel to fuck
that
with
was
him.
epic. That was epic. That was an epic performance without question. Like,
Oh,
shut up.
I don't think anybody got to hear the one that when I went on his channel because I'm pretty sure that one got pulled because his chat was
Yeah,
just vile.
yeah,
Vile. These people are vile.
they are.
Vile.
Yeah, and which is why I don't understand why so many of our folk are so anxious to have a little conversation with a dickhead. It's like, why are you doing this? You know, do you think you're helping? It's not helping. The best thing you can do with Nazis is punch them. And uh, I thought it was kind of weird. I thought that the interaction on Speed's channel, especially when the guy called me a fucking goblin, it's like it was interesting to see the reaction of no offense, Dave. I know you're in the chat. I think uh, it was interesting to see that reaction because it's not. It was, I didn't feel bad that I didn't feel like it was on me to call him out. But on the other hand, it it was nice to have some backup there. And the most effective backup I thought was your backup. It's like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here, you stupid fucking Nazi. It's like, why are you saying this shit about this woman? Like, that's and to me that's the what I like to uh, what I see as being risk averse. Somebody's being a dickhead. You just call them up for being a dickhead, or and if somebody that they're being a dickhead to is there like fighting her own damn battle, let her fight her own damn battle, and then I don't mind white knighting. Come on in and white knight, but don't sit there like a goddamn stump on the log. I'm doing fine with this dickhead, but don't sit there like a bump on a log and pretend that what's happening isn't happening right in front of you. That's the thing that pisses me off. And I know that might sound, you know, churlish in some way, but that's the way I feel about it. It's just Jesus Christ. So when Tsunami jumps in and says you're being what the fuck's the matter with you? That was a breath of fresh air for me because I was just sitting there going,
I'm
yeah,
only mad that it took me an extra like 2 minutes longer than I intended because I couldn't fucking figure out how to switch my mic over and I was like muted for like a minute and a half that I was up there. I was screaming like on mute. I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, God damn it, nobody can hear me.
yeah, it was pretty funny. Ay, ay, ay.
And I would like to remind everybody I'm the same person in real life, except magnified. I'm absolutely the same person in real life. I'll say the same shit in person. If anything, I'm just gonna say it louder. You wouldn't say that in real life. Damn sure that I would, except I'd scream it into Jim Bob's face. This is part of why I'm like, I have to be a stripper because I've got some issues.
So I think that's why a lot of people misunderstood where I come from, and of course I haven't done myself any favors by being a wee bit abrasive, but it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just annoying.
And
But
like I feel
we're
like
trying to get anything done. We're trying to achieve some sort of change. It does, in fact. I am old enough to know it does, in fact, require realizing it takes all kinds of people to and all kinds of different approaches to make a difference. It's just what it's. Can we all agree on what the if we're talking about eyes on the prize? Can we all agree on what the fucking prize is? Sometimes I'm not sure we all do.
yeah, like the I mean like I don't want people to think I'm saying like everybody needs to respond the way that I do. I only responded that strongly because I sat and listened to this motherfucker do that shit for 4 fucking hours,
I
degrading
know
people
it's
and being
funny.
disgusting. And
It
like
was funny.
I know most people don't, respond as like, I don't want to say as strongly, but as like berserker as I do. But like it say something. Like it doesn't matter like how your delivery is, just like you need to actually like say something like when you hear some foul shit going on. Like
Well, and that if it's happening in the name of debate, oh well, we're just debating philosophy. It's like, no, you're not. You're sitting there listening to some guy use the R word, using this and that and the other thing. I mean, he didn't go after me until I was sitting there sewing away, and I didn't say anything for like 2 hours, and when I finally did, it was, of course, why don't you sew a man dress, you goblin? It's like, well, what do you think I'm doing? I'm sitting at a sewing machine, you asshole. What do you think I'm fucking doing? You think that that's some kind of fucking insult? I'm sewing a fucking man dress for some man's boat. Stupid cocksucker. What the fuck's the matter with you?
also
You
Jim
know,
Bob couldn't sew a goddamn like fucking article of
it,
clothing if his life depended on it.
that's the other thing. That's the other thing, of course, is that somewhat resentful person who's been in the needle trades for her entire life is the value of the needle trades is somewhat diminished on account of the fact that usually it's only women that do them, and so they don't get paid for. The great, you know, there's a great song that Sweet Honey and the Rock did. Are my hands clean? And that is all about the needle trades. And I bought this shirt. It's capitalism. Capitalism shrunk into a walnut shell is the story of the needle trades. You want to talk about exploitation? You can talk about the exploitation of women.
Oh, it's still going on in fucking Asian
Of
countries.
of course it is, and that's why it's going on in Asian countries because it wasn't the in other countries the women said, "Fuck this noise, we want to get paid." So guess what? Fucking capitalism. It's the way it works. And eventually, it winds up being it almost the entire uh, fabric industry nearly collapsed during COVID. It was really amazing. I couldn't get any supplies. Nobody had any fabric anywhere.
Ugh, you don't want to know, Spackle. Believe me, you're fucking happier not knowing who fucking Rim Job is. Phew.
Oh, Jim Bob? Yeah, you know, no. Well, Let's just say he's special. All right, here's a good illustration, I think, of what the sun does to fabric. This is awning fabric. Okay. And this is the inside of this piece, which I am going to look at first.
Thinking about somebody made a Little Hands Donald Trump reference in Nitty's about a cat, about Nitty's cat, and now I'm fucking looking at one of my cats has like bizarrely tiny paws, and like that's all I can think of now is this bitch has Donald Trump hands.
Oh
Oh,
no!
baby cake!
Nobody has Donald Trump. Nobody should have Donald Trump fans. That's very disgusting.
She's got little teeny tiny little hands. They're bizarrely small. Baby cake, you're Donald Trump. She's
Let me turn
mean,
it.
she's overweight, she's got tiny hands, she's a little tyrant. She bullies everybody. You're just like Donald Trump, baby cake.
You know, let me turn this bitch around here so we can really get a glimpse. This is a boom tent, I guess, and it's a pretty damn good one. Whoever made this did a damn good job of it. I like it.
I don't even Holy Spackle said, are we talking about Mr. Batman? I don't even think that Mr. Batman guy is as vile as Jim Bob. Rip Job like openly talks about like fucking killing people that like he does
Yeah, he
not like
does.
agree with.
Miss,
Like
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't mind being a goblin, as long as I'm the great goblin.
I forget what he said to me in that first encounter. When did he say something like, "I can't wait till like we can go back to like the times where, like we could behead you
Yes,
people
yeah, I
again, or some
remember that
shit
one.
like that."
Yeah,
And I was
we
just
can
like, "What the
behead you.
fuck, bitch? Like, you are a real psycho, bitch. That's exactly what I expect from a motherfucker like that." Oh, you want to behead a woman that doesn't agree with you and isn't gonna put up with your bullshit? I'm shocked. Never heard that one before.
Yeah, who
Ugh.
knew? All right. So that's cool. Everything seems to be holding up. That's looking at this thing a couple of years ago, but it's old, and this fabric is known as sunbrella, and I'll tilt it down here because you can see the color of the fabric, right? Get a picture of that. This is the inside of the piece, right? It's sort of it's almost close to the same color as my floor,
Baby
but that's the
cake.
inside of the piece. Now I'm going to flip it over and show you the color of the outside of the piece, because I'd have to do that anyway. This is the original color.
Yeah, my cat is so fucking mean. She just like slaps the shit out of my one of my old little grandma cat that's like
And
17 years old.
this is the color after the sun got to it. It kind of turned green. Here's an outside patch that I did a few years ago. The original color is the color of the patch, and uh, the main piece, the body of the piece, is turned green because of ultraviolet light.
Like a box blonde.
Oh, hi, Sai, Bree, come on in. I
Can I
haven't.
be heard?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm out.
No, you're
I,
good.
I'm out in the sail loft, and I'm trying to get this done. And
Load.
good to see you, Bree. What's going
Yeah,
on?
I'm up staying up way too late when I gotta
So am
get up
I.
for my shit tomorrow. Well, you got
Yeah,
work to do. You're working at least. You're being productive. All I'm doing
I
is
am
sitting
being
here.
productive. God damn it! But I was fucking off for a bit there, playing
Yeah,
playing trivia with student Dr. Ben, who is anxious to join us to celebrate our 200
yeah.
views. He's very much into that. It's a question
He
of
was
when.
he
Is
was
Ben still a student?
invited.
I thought he was a doctor now.
Well, he is a doctor now. I'm sorry. I was
Yeah, Dr. Ben. Yeah, he invited me tonight, but I was out running errands with my mama,
yeah. Well, that's
as I
fine
am what
too.
to do on a Friday night.
Yeah.
She comes over here. She like because she lives in Missouri, but the route she takes to get to Iowa to spend the weekend with her boyfriend every weekend, she can swing by here in Illinois and take me to run my errands for the week.
Why
So
do I have this piece?
she
I am
crosses
now
through 3 states.
I am now extremely curious as to why I have this piece that doesn't seem to go anywhere on this piece. This is very odd. And now I am perplexed. God damn it. Don't see anything missing anywhere. Stitching looks good. All right, I'm gonna have to ask Nancy what I'm missing. I have no fucking idea what's going on here. But I like this. I like this piece. This is a really cool. This is a really cool boom tent. See all these things on the side. These little guys. These little guys hook over the lifelines. I don't know if you can see it. I don't have the camera really. I have the camera sort of pointed up at the ceiling, which is no damn good. Yeah, this is weird. I don't know why this. I've got this D ring here. So these things here, like these little guys, they're sort of like a C shape, and they hook over the lifelines on the boat, holding this fly out over the cockpit so that you can have a nice little picky nick or something. Pretty cool. I like it. Oh, I can see why. I can see why this goes here, and this. There, there's no indication that. Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. What the. sense. Not necessary. Makes no sense. I'm gonna have to just hold that in reserve. Oh shit, I've got one last thing I've got to look at. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just coming in here to chatter at you guys because I
I
wasn't able to
appreciate
get that.
it.
I'm not tired, and I do need to go to sleep, but you gotta get this shit done, and I work better when I have people that can
Well, I sure
chat with
appreciate
me.
it. I'm glad that
Yeah.
Tsunami's here. I'm glad you're here. But I don't want to keep you here.
Well, no, you're not keeping me. I'll go when I get tired. Last night's show did really good, though.
Did it?
Really,
Great.
yeah.
So we weren't too long-winded and silly?
No, it did better than the last two. It did as good as the last two shows combined.
Really? Cool.
Yeah.
I'm really
For some reason, the
excited.
last two shows that we didn't do very well live. Like one of them has 58, and one of them has 56. Every other one of them, all of them are over 100. Well, I guess there's two that are like 98,
Yeah.
but 98, 99. No, there's 93 and a 90. Yeah, going back a little further, they're a little less. But yeah, you get the point.
I
But
do.
last night's show was we were back up to 107. I think the thumbnail might have had something to do with it, though. It's a very provocative thumbnail. It's a bunch of HRT pills. So
Yeah, well, there's that. We had a damn good discussion. That a whole good that the last piece
yeah, I
was
got to cut that obituary that you read out. That was a good
yeah.
reading.
Well, it's interesting that in the Discord after I had occasion to refer to Lynn Conway when we're talking about the discourse because it's like the best way to uh, Lynn's remark that really it bit at me. I remember it distinctly. She started her blog slash shit. I got to sit down because my back's beginning to hurt.
Yeah,
God damn it.
you dropped there for a second.
Yeah, I know. I did because it's like I'm obviously on my iPad, and that's when I'm out in the loft. That's the way I do it.
Big
But
giant boobies have something to do with your back hurting.
I don't have big giant boobies, but I don't know if it has anything to do with that.
We were
But
no, you were holding us against your
oh yeah,
boobs,
well
so they
it's
looked
not.
like ginormous.
It looks larger than
Yeah,
Some big
you
old
you
nitties.
you look like Dolly Helms.
on her website, and I made a link in the Discord to her website, kind of in memoriam. But let me see if I can find that. This is like uh, in the past, others have always spoken for us. This was written in like 2000, I think, or 1999. In the past, others have always spoken for us. It's always been others. Physicians, psychiatrists, religious authority figures, lawyers, ethicists, politicians, gender counselors, and in recent years, gay, lesbian, and feminist activists. All these outsider experts, in quotes, have spoken for us, each with their own axe to grind and their own expert theories and spins on who we are and why we are. For example, see the following pages in my website concerning the controversy surrounding a book by psychologist J. Michael Bailey, which denigrates and caricatures transsexual women. And I'm going to use transsexual unapologetically because that was the language of the time. This was 1999, remember? 1998, 1999, somewhere in there. Learn about the Bailey book controversy. She has a hyperlink in there, which is worth reading, because if people don't know J. Michael Bailey and Ray Blanchard and all of that bullshit, then they ought to. Anyway, in every case, such experts have known only a tiny, totally non-representative sample of trans women, if indeed they've known any at all. Few of these experts have ever known a successful post-op woman. Again, forgive the language, this is old language from an old lady. Yet they always feel free to speak for us. They tell people how to think about us and spin endless bizarre theories about us. How have they gotten away with this misrepresentation? The reason is simple. Our very successes have meant that we've been almost invisible in the past. We've also failed by not having the courage to challenge the abusive stereotyping and misrepresentation of who we really are. Well, folks, that era is over. We're no longer going to be invisible, and we are increasingly going to speak for ourselves. As it turns out, the most effective ways we can speak for ourselves is by living very full, productive, and happy lives. Our life stories will then speak volumes and will help publicly shatter the old stereotypes posed by all those experts. In the end, who we are isn't a matter of theory or opinion or who dominates thought by shouting loudest. Instead, it is simply an empirical matter of observing our real lives in the real world. That's Lynn Conway. And that was 1999, I believe. And that meant so much to me when I read that. I mean,
Sorry, is my typing loud?
it is loud, but
I will mute. I'm sorry. I got to argue with Chad about pride, so
you know,
I'm listening now.
well, that's what Lynn wrote. And I think that that's a part of what we've got to speak to today. It's the same old story.
That was
There
yeah.
that there people want to slice and dice our lives, um, 6 ways to Sunday, and they don't get it, and they uh,
I'll get you a copy of of your reading of the obituary and stuff too to put up on your channel when I get it cut.
I can do that for you. I'm good.
You
But if
got
you're
you're gonna
doing it anyway,
well I want a copy of it for the transpositions.
yeah,
I
okay.
was gonna make a copy of both your full thing and then Ember's like little pithy thing. I was gonna see if I could make that into a short about it, where she just broke down just the well, she didn't cover it all though. That's kind of the problem because when you started telling more and more about it, it's like, oh shit, there's even more. I didn't even know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I mean that's the thing. I mean, speaking of these issues is it's just it's annoying over the years. It's been annoying, and but she was right then, and this is what we're still dealing with. We're dealing with uh, uh, what's one of the things that's been real progress is that more trans people have gotten involved. It's like that's why it's really fucking great that that Dr. Ben is a doctor. More trans people have gotten into the medical field. There are more trans practitioners out there that are representing our stories within the context of the people that are providing the therapies. That's made a big difference, I think, over time, over the course of the past 24 years. And a lot of people don't like it. I mean, what we're seeing is what we see out of studies like the Cass report and all of that kind of thing. Uh, are pushback from the people that used to be the gatekeepers, from the people like Ken Zucker, like uh, like um, uh, like J. Michael Bailey, like Ray Blanchard. Those were the people that used to be the determiners of the way we engaged with the medical profession and the kind of care that we received. And that's changed, and changed for the better. And those people don't like it. They don't like it. They don't like it one little bit because their primacy, they fell off their. I mean, uh, Blanchard was on the committee that put together the DSM-5, and everybody else on the committee that voted to remove uh, uh, transsexualism as a as a uh, uh, as a condition from the DSM-5 left his ass right the hell out of the room. So, but he's still there, he's still hanging around. One of those experts. I remember that controversy all too well because that's when I was transitioning and it really fucking sucked.
Oh,
All right, so there's one last piece I've got to take a look at. Got to fold up this piece of canvas. Well, I got to finish this smoke because I really needed the smoke and I really needed to sit down and take a little break. Yes, I did.
take another little break from your sales now, Stephanie.
Yeah. Anyway,
Did Sumami fall asleep again?
I don't know. Did Tsunami fall asleep again? Tsunami, you fall asleep again? God damn it.
No.
All right. I really appreciate you guys being here. And by the way, there is a link up there, purple. If you want to come in and be an insomniac, you can do that too. There's a link up there. I can throw another one in. Anybody's still around. I'll just throw another fucking link in there. Copy. It's been a while since I streamed from the iPad.
Yeah. What percent are you at? You charging it right now?
Yeah, I'm at 17% right now. So
No, it's charging super slow. I guess you're using power too
no,
while you're.
I put it on the supercharger in the office. Yeah, let's throw this motherfucker in here.
My hair is at that perfect state, like
Which
I
is to
don't know,
say what?
like 32 hours after washing it, where it's got just the right balance of oils in it, at least at this temperature.
Yeah.
But
Good night,
it's
Andy. Thanks for visiting. Appreciate it. This is the first time I've actually sat down and see Purple. Uh, let's see, Crystal. Thank you so much for being here. Who
Yeah,
else is here?
Majestic P back in here was earlier. I don't
Oh,
know if they're still
really?
here.
Wow. It's whoever's still
Spackle,
here. Yeah. Well, holy
Victoria.
spackle. Oh, yeah.
Who's I don't know who Oceanu Ukraine Turkey is. They just said Stephanie hello and the laughing face and the thumbs up. I don't know.
All
You know who
right.
that is?
No, not really. I guess. I don't know.
Hello everyone from Istanbul, Turkey on a sunny day. I just subscribed to the channel and I like. They
Oh,
said,
good.
yeah.
Well, welcome.
Getting
You know,
getting fans from around the globe, Steph.
all over the world. We are nationwide.
Yes.
I'm bad. I'm nationwide.
I'm bad. I'm bad. Nation. What was that ZZ Top?
Yep.
Oh, I'm pretty good at music trivia. Not as good as Ian, but I'm good.
What? I thought that was like Michael Jackson or something. What were you
But
singing?
Michael
No.
Jackson has a "I'm Bad" song too, but I knew Steph
I'm
was
bad.
referring to she said nationwide. So
Nationwide is
Yeah.
on your side.
Well, yeah, but this is ZZ Top. Different drill.
I know the Nationwide is on your side song.
Mm, yeah. Well.
nationwide is on your side. Man, I was watching old commercials the other day because somebody mentioned like the Mentos commercial at in one of my meetings at work. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember those commercials. Remember the one where the guy rolled on the bench in his suit because he got paint on his suit.
You know the two guys from Maine that did the whole thing with the Mentos thing. It was a big hit on wasn't you? I think yeah, it might have been an early YouTube thing. These guys did this thing with Mentos in Coke bottles. You throw the Mentos in the Coke bottles and they make this
Yeah, I
big
remember
drink,
that.
right? Well,
Yeah,
those guys made a fucking fortune from that. Like serious folding cash from that. At the time I was working in an art gallery in Freeport and they're in Maine and they were fans of an artist, a wonderful artist in Maine, Dala Vipkar. You can look up her stuff. Google Dala Vipkar, you'll love it. You'd love it, especially Bree, because she did paintings of exotic animals like opakis and
who?
you'd really love.
I'm in. What's
Let
your
me see
name?
if I Dala Vipkar. I can't do it on the iPad, but I'll show you some. I've got
Just
where
DALA. Or is there an H on the end?
Ovipcar. Dala Vipkar. And the gallery that I was working in represented her work, and uh, her paintings. She was a remarkable woman,
There we go.
really, truly remarkable woman. Lived to the age of 100, and was vibrant and active. Her all the way to the end.
The very first
Uh,
picture that comes up was a kitty.
right?
I'm gonna put
Hey,
her name
listen.
in.
Look, share the painting because it's gorgeous. Share
Well,
her work.
here, yeah, let me pull it up. And present. Yeah, because it'll be easier for me to share that than you to try to share it from your tablet. There. And
Yeah,
all you gotta
there
do
you
is
go.
hit the
Yeah,
button so I can. Nice, right? That's the very first one that popped up for me. Look at that leopard with the rosettes on it. That's nice.
Uh, she was a remarkable person. Anyway, these two guys made a fortune, and they came into the gallery and bought like three cars, and it was like, and they told me this story as that they made this fortune for putting fucking Mentos in Coke bottles, and and people were going crazy about it. It was like they had this whole thing going on. People were paying them money to put Mentos in Coke bottles, and they used the money to buy Ipcar paintings. It's like, wow, this is really cool. Which made me feel pretty good because I didn't make anything off of it. The gallery owner
Yeah.
money, but it was really funny. It's like, okay, weird stories, weird people. People have weird stories. And I broke a nail and I'm pissed off. But there you go. Ah, goodness. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a coughing fit. I had to mute myself. Whew.
You know, that's why I stay muted is because I'm smoking weed over
Yeah, me too, girl.
here.
Your friends are all pothead stuff. What are you gonna do?
That's okay. I'm a very light indulger in the weed,
Yeah.
but I get
Nothing
to it every
gets
now
to
and again.
you. Staying fresh, staying cool. Mentos fresh
I
and
cough a
full of
lot.
life. Sorry. Get the Mentos jingle stuck in my head.
Good for you.
I won't sing it again. I'm
I don't want.
apologizing.
I don't. I'm telling you right now. I don't want to get up and go pull out that last sale that I got to.
Is that still on? Oh my gosh, my mic's still on. But it sounds tons better now, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Way better.
Because remember how like when we do the transpositions, I have to switch it over to
Yeah, when we did the transpositions,
dropping.
like there was an echo off whenever you weren't muted, and either Ember and I were speaking. There was an echo, and I think it might be because of.
Yeah. One thing I've been considering sliding back more into a producer's role anyway on the transpositions. I really like producing it a lot better than I like
Yeah, here we go
being
again.
in it. What's that? Are you dying?
I think we're all, kind of doing okay. And
Oh,
this is why I haven't done anything on my channel lately because mostly because of that and the Discord, which I think is
yeah.
is 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 really, you mentioned, oh well, the debate bros are coming in. It's like, I don't care. I want the debate bros to come in
Yeah.
there.
No, I invited them. I invited Grayson and Mark and all those guys into the
Oh yeah,
Discord. Because if they're gonna engage with people like Pine Creek, like Steve McRae, like whoever, then
yeah.
they need to be educated. They need to have access to the right information. They know how to, they're smart
We
people. They know
have
how to use it. They know how to read papers and stuff. So
Well, yeah, Bree, you can go ahead and throw a link to the Discord into the chat
yeah,
if
for sure.
people want to join, because there are probably we have a section in our Discord that has links to over, I haven't counted, I think it's like 30 plus peer reviewed papers, uh, and some of them are meta reviews that um, that have links to even more papers. It's probably one of the most exhaustive um,
I really think we
repositories.
should.
repositories of material like that anywhere. That
I
I
really
think
think we should
people,
rename the Discord to the Transpositions Newsroom.
we could do.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Or something similar.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of resources there, and I want to be having. It's like, I well, you've seen the back and forth I've been having with Mr. Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, I want allies to be well armed, because one of the things that's been a source of personal annoyance is people who think they know what they're talking about, but they don't know what they're talking about. It's like, you know, there's all this stuff, and it's like, well, who the hell are you? You're some fucking sailmaker. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, oh, yeah, but I kind of do. And, I was really kind of gratified with Mr. Anderson's things. Oh my! You've got a lot of peer-reviewed research here that people don't know about. It's like, yeah, no shit. Because, all right, one last thing. Was this? Yes, this was. Most of them came from. Most of that information was gleaned from 2021, 2022. I was on a panel. Well, not a panel. A task force to develop policies for U.S. sailing and the trans community, the trans people in the sport of sailing. And that panel included myself, non-binary, two non-binary people, another trans woman, and the vice president of World Sailing, which recently banned the participation of trans women in the sport at the elite level. So anyway, a whole bunch of that stuff came from of the stuff on the Discord came from that era of my so-called activism. And it's like, I always think it's really weird that, any trans person who advocates for themselves is labeled an activist in some way, shape, or form. I think it's weird.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
you have to be an activist, right? Oh, you're an activist. You're a trans rights activist. You're a TRA. I
right.
guess I'd rather be
And
called a TRA than a TIM. I hate when they call me a TIM.
what's that?
Trans identifying.
Trans identifying male, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's horseshit. All
They
right.
call you that on Twitter. They can get away with it too. Can't get away with saying cis on Twitter though. Oh hell
No,
no.
you can't say that.
Don't
No,
say
no,
the C
no.
word. There's only one C word that's worse than cunt. You know what it is? Cis.
Cisgender.
What if Elon just heard you say that right now? Did you think about that before you opened your mouth, Steph? You could have heard him.
No,
We have to think
I
about
did
Elon
not.
when we say things, right?
I guess. Because he's what? Emerald Air.
Yeah. Well, he's a precious little guy. We got to take care of him and protect him from the scary world outside.
Yep.
You got to protect the little guys. They're so gentle and fragile, you know?
Yeah, I know. This thing hasn't been used. This is weird. Oh, I know what this is. This is a storm jib, I think.
A storm jib? What's that?
It's a
At risk of sounding dumb.
damn it. What the fuck? Etienne Giroir is a yeah, this is a storm jib. It's sail meant to be used. Sail meant to be used in extremely high wind, which these ladies will never fucking use. They'll never use this sail.
Why not?
Because they'll never have occasion to.
Is it like an emergency backup sail?
Yes.
Oh.
My note on here. Brand new, you'll never use it. This boat is new to these ladies.
Gilligan's Island theme song is now playing in my head.
Yep.
Sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a faithful trip. Or no, that's not how it starts, is it?
I thought it was a faithful ship. Is it a trip?
I know they rhyme ship and trip there, but I don't know which order they rhyme them in. And I know Purple's out there, so Purple will know. Purple remembers
That
if
started
Steph
on this
doesn't.
tropic port aboard this
This
tiny
tiny
ship.
ship.
Yeah. All right. So I don't need to really worry about that. All right. I think I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
Yeah. I can go back. I think I will pour myself a wee dram.
Yeah, because me and your
And
girl here, we're like roasted, slow roasted, even on a Friday night.
yeah. What do you
Your
got
girl used
coming up? What do you got coming up for high sci?
tomorrow. Tomorrow in Cryptic Corner, I'm gonna be talking about giant rats,
Nice.
Captain
rodents of
Mars?
unusual size.
Bree, have you ever read or heard of the giant rat of Sumatra?
Yes, I have a clip of that I'm going to include. Don't you worry.
Is it a
We're going to talk about it.
capybara?
No, the giant rat of Sumatra is not like it's fictional. It's not real. It's sort of it was a
No, it's not
literary
real at
device.
all.
It was a literary device that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle came up with. It is based loosely on
Yes,
sailors' tales from the South Seas and stuff of people seeing
yes,
giant rodents and things like
yes.
that. And
But
there are places where there's big rats like cane rats, and Africa has some huge rats too. Gambian. Anyway, go ahead,
but
Steph. I'm sorry.
but the giant rat of Sumatra is also, yes, it is a Sir Arthur Conan Doyle thing, but it is also a fire sign theater thing. And the fire sign theater was this troupe of really weird individuals, I think in either LA or San Francisco in the late 60s. And there were a bunch of fucking hippies that did like old timey radio things. And they did a whole riff on the giant rat of Sumatra that is hysterically funny. It's just hysterically funny. It's like if you like weed and and you're into giant rats, the giant rat of Sumatra, you should listen to it because it's just hysterically funny.
Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, after Doyle used it, so many people started including it in their works and stuff. Anytime you were talking about somebody adventuring off to a foreign land, you could throw in something about giant rats of Sumatra as part of the narrative to make it sound more exotic.
Just it's really
Hey
funny.
Steph, I got a sailor question for you.
What do you got?
What are the seven seas?
Well, you've got the Atlantic, the Pacific, Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, uh,
Arctic,
Arctic Ocean, the
Mediterranean,
Southern Ocean. I think the Mediterranean got in there, and
Indian Ocean. Did you already say that?
I already said that.
Yeah.
Um,
Atlantic, Pacific, Indian. I don't know the traditional seven seas. I off the top of my head, I don't know.
no, but maybe the other one's the Caribbean Sea.
Yeah, or Caribbean, either way.
You say Caribbean, I say
Of
Caribbean,
course,
but
across the Caribbean. Well, it's a that's a I forget what that song is. Is it across the Caribbean or Caribbean Sea? That's a lyric in the song.
yeah, it's kind of a tomato thing. But do people really say tomato?
I think some did, and
Like Red Sea,
only assholes say tomato.
the Red Sea, you think? Well, there's way more than
Most people
seven
say
seas. Like
tomato.
on the, oh, so were you gonna sing? Let's
I'm
throw
gonna
the, or
sing.
what is
I
it?
already sang. I already.
Mommy was gonna sing.
All right.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What? No, I
sing
wasn't.
it, girl. I got my bongo drums. I'll give you a beat.
No.
Nice. Ooh, I like it.
You gonna sing or not? I feel kind of silly just drumming here without you singing, Sumami. Or if you
No.
got, or if you got a kazoo. If I order a kazoo for
Yeah,
you and send it to you, because it's only like a couple dollars, then we can jam, right?
I like it.
Kazoo. I didn't really go to Juilliard for kazoo. I hate to break it to you.
You can, yeah. They're real instruments. I mean, you wouldn't go for kazoo, but you can master, yeah, the kazoo and the what they call it the jaw harp, or they used to call it the Jew harp, but that's kind of
The Jews harp. Yeah.
yeah.
Leonard Cohen made good use of the Jews harp quite a bit.
All right, I'm gonna
Oh my
put these
goodness.
drums down because that's annoying. I'm
Maybe
sure.
I could. I wonder if I could just sort of jump into my own chat, my own
Freeze
fucking
busting
stream.
in a
I bet I
Goron
can.
meeting
I
there.
think I can. I think
I'm
I can
stoned.
jump into. I think I can jump into my own stream, which would
Are
be
you trying to
fun.
switch? Are you trying to switch out which device you're on?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, you should be able to. Just log into yours. You're going to be in here for twice for a second, so make sure you mute
No, I know.
the new one you come in on
No,
before you
I
close
know.
out of
No,
this one.
no.
I mean, we'll hold the room for you if you drop out. That's no problem, but yeah, I'm going to be talking about. I also got Answers in Genesis. Like, since I didn't get a lot of votes to cover that again, but I wanted to cover them bitches anyway. They made me mad.
I
One of
know.
them
I
made me
know. I know.
all.
I know. That was all kinds of fun.
So I'm gonna make fun of them for not knowing about insect evolution too. So just to double down, because I'm a mean girl. I'm gonna be a mean girl tomorrow. Should I wear pink?
Yes.
All right. So I gotta. I'll add myself to the stage, and I'm gonna remove myself from that. Look at that! Look at that!
There you go, seamlessly.
I'm in church now. I'm back in church.
Seamless. She did it. She's a
Yeah,
tech whiz.
yeah, I guess
Oh,
so. And now I'm echoing all over the place.
you shouldn't be going in here. Test 1 2 3. Check.
Hold on.
Come, my lady, come, my lady. You're my butterfly, sugar baby.
Oh wait.
You are echoing now. Womp, womp, womp. Yeah, I do. And someone said something about the rodents of unusual size. Yes, I will talk about. There's going to be rodents of unusual size. That's the whole deal. The whole deal that we're going to talk about. And there were real giant rodents too, like huge rodents, as big as buffalo. We're gonna crack that nut, so to speak.
So Purple noticed the pipe organ in that church. That pipe organ was gorgeous. It was.
Is that your Methodist sisters?
Yeah, that's my. This is the original. The OC, the original church for yours truly. This was really good memories of that place. It got torn down, and it was 86 Shawmut Avenue, Boston, Massachusetts, and it became a part of the Massachusetts Turnpike in 1962. So
I see.
but it was the church my grandfather uh, built, and yeah, it was. Uh, it was a beautiful building, beautiful sanctuary, beautiful place, but gone, and the organ was spectacular. Just a really wonderful instrument.
Yeah, I
And
like
the
playing
organ,
keys sometimes. Did you give it a go, or you just let the professionals handle it? I'd have a hard time keeping my fingers off of an organ if there was one in front of me.
well, I was a little kid, and Ella France Jones, wonderful black woman who was my piano teacher. Again, the congregation was mostly black, but being the white kid whose grandfather founded the church, it's like, yeah, well, I get a few privileges. Hello. I'm familiar with the concept of privilege. Anyway, she was a wonderful lady, and she was the organist, and taught me to play the piano and taught me let me play the organ now and again, and showed me around the thing. It really was a remarkable. It was a remarkable instrument, and it was a real pipe organ. And that there was, with the compressor and the big pipes and the little pipes and the this and the that, and it was fascinating. It's like, wow, this is fucking cool.
What's your preferred or favorite genre of music? Classic rock, I guess, or what we call classic rock today.
Oh, I don't. I'm a subscriber to Duke Ellington's uh, Duke Ellington's philosophy, which is if it sounds good, it is good. And I'm very open to any form of music. If any
Yeah.
banging on the
Not
bongos, it sounds good, it is good.
well. I I have years of practice playing different instruments. I was always and in all the bands I was in, I was always the instrumentalist. My hands, because I played a lot of acoustic stuff. That's especially acoustic bass. My hands are so. One of my hands, my left hand, is so. Uh, if I play for more than an hour or so, I won't be able to use that hand properly for the next week.
Hmm.
Uh, so I miss playing bass, but because I was like that was my instrument that I vibed with a lot, when I was like writing a rhythm down. Even something I was gonna play on drums, I'd write it on bass first. But I never played drum sets. I always played hand drums. I really wanted to do an acoustic band like Days of the New, but no one would
I
play with
I
me.
in the classical realm, my favorite composer is Igor Stravinsky because of his range.
Can I say my favorite composer is Freddie Mercury?
Sure, you can say it. I mean, hardly the classical range,
Yeah.
but
He had
Mercury.
some classical range. There's classical range in some of those jams. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and there's certainly classical influences in Queen's music,
Yeah.
and it's good. It's good music. I love it.
I like Bach as far as classic music goes. I used to play
I
some
like
Bach.
I like Bach. I think Bach is remarkably inventive and
Yeah.
incredibly moving. There are tons of pieces of uh, there are tons of pieces by Bach that send chills up and down my spine. Um, there's and I'm fond of Stravinsky's neoclassical style. There's the Symphony of Psalms, which I sang in in high school chorus, and Stravinsky's Mass in C, which I sang in college college concert choir. Uh, that are just again chills up and down your spine kinds of pieces to me. Uh, I like stock, Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, which was early electronic music. I thought Wendy Carlos's stuff was amazingly cool, um, but she wasn't as much of a composer as she was an instrumentalist. Um, playing the Moog synthesizer and stuff was very inventive. But in the realm of contemporary music, I've lost touch with a bunch of it. Um, I uh, in my in my second puberty phase, I kind of got into alt country for a bunch of stuff. So people like Uncle Tupelo and Sunvolt and uh, uh,
I'm in my
Ryan.
second puberty right now, so and my music taste has changed quite a bit. I'm into a lot more like pop music than I used to be. I used to be very much like a rock and metal and kind of.
Oh, Rachmaninoff, yeah, Rachmaninoff. I thought Rachmaninoff's kind of went overboard or whatever.
What's that? Who's that?
Well, Samami put in the chat, Rachman.
Rachmaninoff.
Oh, I see it. I
Rachmaninoff.
see. Yeah.
The Russians were good. Well, Rimsky-Korsakov
She'll,
was when I was
how do you say? I always can never say his name. Well, say his name. The composer.
Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky. There, thank you. Someone else has to say it first before I can say it. I'm pathetic. Thank you.
No problem.
But he was Russian, right?
He was Russian.
Or was he Polish?
He was Russian. Tchaikovsky was Russision. Stood naked in the Moscow River for a while, and
Who's
he was
the Polish
uh,
composer?
Chopin.
Chopin.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was, and Chopin's marvelous. Debussy, I love Debussy. I love the turn of the century. When classical music was moving from um, the romantic into the into atonality, like the Debussy's Prelude to an Afternoon of a Faun is still a chills up and down my spine piece of music that I love.
Now you got me thinking of Wagner. Wagner's. I mean, everybody in my generation grew up with Wagner.
Wagner, breathe.
Wagner, sorry. Well, I was so listen. I was a kid,
Achtung!
and I would, and they
Achtung!
they would have they'd have the on the Looney Tunes cartoons when I was a kid. They'd have all the Wagner uh
Yes,
catalog and the songs because they were in public domain,
I'm
right?
hunting a
But they would
wabbit, hunting a wabbit, hunting a
yes.
wabbit.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I was thinking of. But it wasn't just that one. There were a lot of them.
The Ride of the Valkyries. I just
Mm-hmm.
Wagner, well, Wagner's Wagner. Wagner's into these huge theatrical pieces, and he was a rabid anti-Semite, and all of that stuff. Hitler's favorite composer. Hey, what can you say?
Yeah. He's the
But
reason why when you see a like in like pop culture when they're trying to portray a Nazi snob, they always have him listening uh to Wagner on
yeah,
a gramophone in the middle of like their camp or whatever.
well, in that vein of music, there's Richard Strauss, who I think was better than Wagner. At
Yeah.
least I enjoy it more. But Wagner was more into the theatrical pieces, and Strauss was into what's also Sprach Zarathustra is one thing, and then Francis Poulenc is another is a was a French composer who wrote a bunch of really amazing stuff, and for modern classics people, uh, uh, Adams, um, John Adams is unbelievable. If you've never listened to the Chairman dances, uh, uh, Nixon from the opera Nixon in China, that piece is remarkable. It's just a wonderful piece of music. It's like 20 minutes long, but it's beautiful. John Adams is a serialist, and there's a piece that I don't know if I can get away with this on YouTube. What can you get away with on YouTube with as
Can
far as
you can you
classical
tell me
music
what
is
this
concerned?
means to you when you see this? What the hell are we? I can't even.
I'm not sure what it means to me.
Um, the soldier kind of looks like Hunter Biden, though. That was my main takeaway. And I think they put the
I
woman between the soldier and her
I
husband so it didn't look gay, but it kind of gives the impression that they're a throuple or that's that he'd be
It
like,
gives me the impression that the husband hired the soldier for some fucking freaky deaky, but I don't know why the baby there.
yeah,
Why is the
okay,
baby
yeah.
there?
If you want to do your jammy time with Soldier Boy cosplay, you need to take the baby to put it in its cradle first, right? Put the baby in the bed and then do your kinky shit, right? Then you
uh
I
can
take the baby to grandma's house if I'm gonna have a freaking like I don't know.
like I can only assume that there's some kind of vibrating utensil on the end of this gun. I don't think it's an actual gun. It doesn't look any kind of gun I've ever seen. Anyhow, like anything
well,
real.
this piece, Christian zeal and activity. It, this I'm going to see what YouTube will do because I don't care. I'm not.
Do your thing. My ugly face was on camera for a second. Hope nobody caught it.
My worst nightmare.
Well, I'm like bed ready, but I'm not like in bed, so.
All right.
I just got called a sodomite.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Congratulations.
A sodomite. What fucking year is it? Like we live in like fucking 1900. Like we're calling motherfuckers
I,
sodomites. Like what the
I
fuck?
mean,
He said
that
actually what he said is he says that he's calling me a same gender because he can't call me a sodomite. Because it's illegal. He says it's illegal to call me a here's what he said, I mean all types, but the term thanks to pride is illegal. I mean sodomites of all types, but the term I think thanks to pride is illegal. So because of pride, we made the word sodomite illegal. Even though I just said it like 7 times on this stream alone, I'm gonna get arrested. I'm waiting for the FBI to come busting my door in because I said the
seriously.
words. It, you know what you
But
call somebody who's literally from the city of Sodom?
sodomite.
Right. So
I thought that was the
But
implication.
right. Right.
so I'm just gonna.
Let's do it. Let's get kicked off the internet. This is pretty chill.
I think John Adams is still alive. One, one thing, there finally you get that resolution. I think this
And I believe that
my
same Jesus is present through the power of the Holy Spirit right here in this room, right now, right now. I believe that. And I believe that same Jesus is present through the power of the Holy Spirit right here in this room, right now, right now. And he wants to meet every need. Now, what's wrong with a withered hand? Why would Jesus been drawn to a withered hand, healing all that were oppressed of the devil? I believe that. And I believe that same Jesus is present through the power of the Holy Spirit. Why would Jesus is present through the power of the Holy Spirit right here in this room, right now? And he wants to meet every need. Now, what's wrong with a withered hand? Why would Jesus be drawn to a withered hand? And I believe that same Jesus is present through the power of the Holy Spirit. I believe that. And I believe that same Jesus is present through the power of the Holy Spirit right now. Now, what's wrong with a withered hand? Why would Jesus been drawn to a withered hand of a man that was in the synagogue? Now, what's wrong with a withered hand? Why would Jesus right here in this room right now? And he wants to meet every need. Drawn to a withered hand of a man that was in the synagogue. Jesus Christ not only healed this man in the synagogue that had the withered hand, but I believe this very same story has a message for you and me, even down here in this year in which we live. Now, I believe Jesus Christ not only healed this man in the synagogue that had the withered hand, and I believe that same Jesus is present through the power of the Holy Spirit. Now, what's wrong with a withered hand? Why would Jesus been drawn to a withered hand of a man
all
that was
around
in the synagogue? But I
all
believe this
around.
very same story has a message for you and me, even down here in this year in which we live. Jesus knew all about that. They said, who can forgive sin but God? But God, but God, sin but God. They said, who can forgive sin but God? Then he said, take up your bed and walk, God. Then he said, take up your bed and walk, forgive sin but God. Then he said, take up your bed and walk. Now, I believe Jesus Christ not only healed this man in the synagogue that had the withered hand, but I believe this very same story has a message for you and me, even down here in this year in which we live. And he said, take up your bed and walk. And I believe that same Jesus is present through the power of the Holy Spirit right here in this room, right now, right now, right now. And he wants to meet every need. Now, what's wrong with a withered hand? Why would Jesus been drawn to a withered hand? Why would Jesus been drawn to a withered hand? Drawn to a withered hand of a man that was in the synagogue. To a withered hand of a man that was in the synagogue. Well, a withered hand can't hold on to anything. Jesus coming. Jesus moved about when he divine appointment. Jesus is here, and this place is packed, and people standing outside, and Jesus walks in. Jesus always moved with divine appointment, and he had an appointment. Someone that had a withered hand, did he make it whole?
That's the pace. And your cello's holding that until it's back down. So there you go. I love that piece. I think it's I just fucking love that piece of music. There you go, folks.
And we got away with it. They didn't yoink us.
They didn't yank us so far, but you know, well, they'll probably yank the stream, but
I'm
give
gonna
me the
yank my.
opportunity give me the opportunity to delete that piece, which is fine.
Yeah.
What are you yanking, Bree?
I'm gonna yank myself off the stream. Not
I
that
mean,
way. My goodness.
well, goodness gracious me. I'm gonna yank myself off the internet right now pretty soon here. But thanks so much, Bree. Thanks so much, Tsunami. Uh, uh, thanks, M. Carp, for dropping by. Thanks, Purple, who's already left. Uh, and we'll do it again someday. Who knows? Who knows what we'll talk about? Maybe we'll talk about John Adams. But it's it's uh, it's been fun. Thanks for keeping me company while I get some work done and such. Bye, y'all.
Night,